Exponents, so we're going to start to talk about zero and negative exponents. But before we begin, let's do a little review of exponents. So exponents, they look like this, and what it's telling me to do is to write the 2 3 times and multiply those together. So 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. The next one says negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 4 times. The negative is also being written 4 times. So you end up with the answer of 81. On this next one, we have a division, so we really have 4 times 4 divided by 2 times 2. Treat it as parentheses here, so we've got 16 over 4, and then 16 over 4 is 4. This next one, I want to compare these two as a reminder. This is the ones that people miss the most. This is telling you to write the negative 4 2 times. This does not have parentheses. The parentheses really are only around the 4. So we have negative 4 times 4. This gives us 16, and this gives us negative 16. So you can see the difference between the negatives being included in the parentheses and the other ones not. Okay, what we want to talk about next is what happens when we have negative exponents. So from this pattern, we're going to determine what a 0 means. So what does 0 mean when it's an exponent? We're also going to determine what it means to be a negative exponent. So because what we know from powers, we know that this says 3 times 3 times 3, which would be 27. We know that this says 3 times 3, which happens to be 9. We know this just says 3, which is 3. So we need to figure out what is 3 to the 0 power. Well, look at the pattern here. Really what we're doing is we're dividing by 3 every time. So 27 divided by 3 is 9. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And so if I take this and I divide by 3 again, 3 divided by 3 is 1. So that means 3 to the 0 power is 1. Then if you continue this pattern, you divide by 3 again, you end up getting 1 divided by 3, which is a fraction of 1/3. So really what negatives do is they don't make the number negative, they put the number on the bottom of a fraction. So we'll do it again. 1/3 divided by 3 is like saying 1/3 times the reciprocal 1 over 3. So that would be 1 over 9. Well, that is really 1 over, like I said, this says move it to the bottom of the fraction, 1 over 3 squared. And this last one then would be 1 over 3 cubed, or 1 over 27. So let's look at this pattern again with some different numbers. This time let's do it with 2. So we have 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. We have 2 times 2, which is 4. And we have 2, which just is 2. So as you're looking for the pattern, you notice that it's being divided by 2 every time. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. So therefore, again, anything to the 0 power is going to be equal to 1. So we take 1 divided by 2, that's 1/2. So a negative exponent just moves the number to the bottom. Using that method, this just means that this is moved to the bottom, so it's 2 squared, which would be 1/4. 1/2 divided by 2 is 1/4. And then this would be 1 over 3, or 1 over 2 to the third. That would be 1 over 8. So what is the pattern here? Well, this is just x cubed, x squared, x. We now know that this is equal to 1. Notice each of these are being divided by x, and then divided by x. X divided by x is 1. 1 divided by x is 1 over x. So then if we divide by x again, we get 1 over x squared, and then 1 over x cubed. So this is the reasoning behind negative exponents and 0 exponents.